All right, we're ready. All right, so let's just, if you don't mind, let's just switch gears just a little bit for some energy change. Is that okay? Okay, so grab the hand of the person next to you both. If you got somebody on either side, there you go. There you go. All right. Okay. Hey, folks, I got 8 minutes. All right. All right, beautiful. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale, and then let's exhale together. Oh, that's nice. Let's inhale and let's exhale together. And one more time. Let's inhale. And then let's exhale together. And then keep those hands together. And I want you to repeat after me. I want you to say, we are connected. We are one. The time is now. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Good, good. Ooh, yes. All right, quickly. So I'll tell you a little about who I am, what I do, and what my big idea is. The reason why I've got a picture of my beautiful son, Elijah Kojo Dara Anku, who now today is actually 10 years old. That was the day he was born. He is my pride and joy, my raison d'etre, and everything that I do and the work that I do. Yes, we want to affect millions of people all over the planet, but what drives me every day is this kid. And I'm very fortunate to stand here with you today because about 6 years ago, I was in the emergency room. I had acute bilateral pneumonia, went into septic shock, and they told my family I had about 12 hours left to live. And in a very dark space where I didn't have any breath, I didn't have a heartbeat. I remember being in a black space, and all I was thinking about was making it through to be a father to this kid. And he's 10. And let's look at the next slide. We can move for me. Thanks, Joe. So this is him now. Yes, I'm the father of a Starbucks model and and a kid who thinks he's Black Panther. He'll come in my room and go, "Papa, Wakanda forever." I was like, "Son, we live in Sacramento." And then one more, you see us together. All right, beautiful, beautiful. So I just share that because I just understand the blessing of the moment, and I carry him with me everywhere that I go. So that's a little bit about the background. In terms of what I do, I'm the founder and CEO of a micro venture capital fund that's called the Black Star Fund. I was actually the original co-founder of Black Angel Tech Fund, which gave me the stepping stone to what I do now. And we are looking to fund on the for-profit technology investment side diverse founders of color. And my journey into this started way back when I was at Stanford, but in the immediate history, I started, believe it or not, working with the rock star Prince. And in 2000, about 2013, I had an opportunity to start to work with him and be part of an organization that was co-created by Prince and Van Jones called Yes We Code. Now that was born out of the Trayvon Martin tragedy. Some of you know that story, where Prince was at home watching television and saw where Trayvon's murderer was set free and he was acquitted. And Prince asked the question, why is it that when we see these African American men wearing hoodies, that we think they're criminals and thugs? But when we can see a young white guy wearing a hoodie out in Silicon Valley, we can think maybe that's the next Mark Zuckerberg. And he said, we need to do something about that. Where are the Zuckerbergs? Where are they? So he planted a seed in our head around the idea of the innovation economy. And those of us that have historically been left out, cut out, marginalized, or quite frankly, never thought about it, what if we were leading it? Right? Not just getting jobs at Google, right? But what if we were creating the next Google? Now, this resonated with a group of us who went to Stanford because we went to school with the folks that created Google and Yahoo and PayPal and Palantir and was the incubator for Facebook, right? We were there. But we never thought to ourselves, what would it look like if we were not only those founders, but what would it look like if we were aggregating the dollars to be the investors, right? Because we're excited when we see these big exits of technology companies, but think about the folks who got in early to invest in those companies. So we started on that journey with the Black Angel Tech Fund. In that fund, 80% of our portfolio were African American women. Now, it was not a women-focused fund, but the portfolio was 80%. So I heard the question earlier when someone was asking, well, how do we get these corporations to do the right thing? How do we get them to start to change some of their internal practices? I love what my friend, Dr. Wendy Ellis just said. It's about what's the intent. What is the intent? What if we were creating new technology companies and the intent was to have them founded by and funded by, in a lot of cases, folks of color? What do you think would happen? I'll give you an example. One of our partners is an incredible woman named Mary Spio. Mary Spio is a Ghanaian woman. She was actually born in New York but raised in Ghana. She has created a virtual reality company that I believe will be at the level of a Google or a Facebook or an Apple in probably the next 2 years. Okay, that's what I know and I believe. Now, do you think we're going to have conversations with her about gender diversification of her board? Do you think we're going to have to do training so she can have a more diverse C-suite? No. Now, while that's happening, I can tell you, and this is kind of the exciting good news, I'm part of a movement. Just yesterday in New York City was an incredible meeting of Black women in tech. These are the top leaders in the tech industry that happen to be women of color. These are folks who are looking to aggregate hundreds of millions of dollars to fund early stage technology companies. Now, my big idea is something I call 100 by 100. And the idea is a vision of 100 Black and African fund managers who are managing $100 million innovation funds. Now, how does that tie back to the work? It ties back to the work because we're talking about transforming communities. What happens in the Bay is a technology company will get $5 million, come in, have all their offices, have all their employees who are making six-figure incomes come into the neighborhood, push everybody out. We call that gentrification. But let's go back to Dr. Ellis's point about intent. What if the founder went into that community and said, we're putting our headquarters in East Oakland. We're putting our headquarters in Harlem. We're putting our headquarters in East St. Louis. And the people we're not running the people out. The people are going to work for the company. Now we're going to bring some other folks in who might have some of the talent that we need, but then they're going to be working side by side, right? And so that way we're talking about uplifting communities, transforming communities, different images that these young men will have to see of what it means to be a man, to be a father, to be a provider. All of those things can happen, and we're talking about en masse and at a massive scale. So that is the work that I do. And although it's in the venture space, understand that I operate, as you can see, in the two-gen framework in my own life, right? And I'm committed and passionate about seeing these transformations around a model of hyper acceleration. That is, Wendy said, is 400-year journey for some of us, and we can't wait another 400 years or another 100 years. So I believe that this process of aggregating $10 billion to invest in early stage innovative companies that will ultimately transform communities and create wealth in a completely different flow of capital will be one of the key answers to solving this problem and will be a phenomenal driver and support system for the work that each and every one of you do. Thank you.